Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'll be talking to you about income tax. I'll be giving you a better understanding of your payslip. I'll be giving you an understanding of how your tax code is calculated and what your tax code means. We'll look at the tax rate. We'll look at things like salary sacrifice, benefits that you can get as a result of being a nurse. We'll also look at, we'll conclude the video by looking at your national insurance. Hi guys, in case today is your first time for seeing this face, my name is Shola and I'm a registered mental health nurse working in the UK National Health Service. What's the purpose of this channel? The purpose of this channel is to support nurses through their journey. I'm looking to bridge the gap between nursing and finance. I'm looking to give nurses a better understanding of their payslip, of their of finances, and how to understand their finances a bit better. So if you like this topic that we're going to be discussing on this channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hi guys, so in the UK, income tax is paid to Her Majesty Revenue and Custom, and that's HMRC. And also for those of us who are employed by the NHS, we go through what they call PAYE, which means pay as you earn. But for you to understand your tax code, you have to first understand what tax years are. You know what tax year are we looking at. So for example, if you're looking at the tax year 2021-22, it starts from 6th of April 2021 to the 5th of April 2022, and that tax year we say is tax year 2021-2022. For example, again, 6th of April 2022 to 5th of April 2023, we're looking at the tax year 2022-2023. Like I said again, your income tax is deducted and it's paid to Her Majesty Revenue and Customs. So looking at the next slide, I will be telling you about your personal allowance, because that allows us to have a better understanding of your tax code. So every year, the Chancellor releases a budget, and you see a man in a very nice suit holding a red briefcase, and they read out the budget, and then in that budget you've got a section for income tax. Okay, and sometimes you might have the budget read out more than once a year. So you might have an autumn statement, the spring statement, and the annual statement. And the man in the nice suit with the red suitcase is the man currently called Rishi Sunak, and it tells you what the personal allowance is. The personal allowance for the tax year 2012 and 2013, which is from 6th of April 6th of April 2022 to 5th of April 2023, is 12570. So what that means is that if you earn £12,570 a year, you don't pay any tax. That's your personal allowance. That's your tax-free allowance. That equates to 1,048 every month, and that also equates to 242 every week. Again, for the last tax year, the personal allowance was exactly the same, and before that it was 12,500. If you're a nurse and you're paying, your tax code is 1257L, because what happens is they remove the last zero and replace it with an L, and that becomes your tax code. So for last tax year, they remove the last zero and they replace it with an L, and that becomes your tax code. If you're a nurse, a doctor, a social worker, a registered professional paying 1257L, then potentially you could be paying the wrong tax, because you're entitled to things like uniform tax rebates, professional subscription, NMC tax rebates, and so on and so forth. In my next video, I'll be telling you everything about tax relief and tax rebates. But for now, your tax code is calculated from the personal allowance. Again, you have to understand that the tax year runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April. So you have to have an understanding of what tax year we're currently looking at. Again, if you're blind or you live in Scotland, then the way the taxes are calculated might be different. And if you're blind, your tax code might be slightly different from other people's. In the next chart, I'm going to show you what tax rates what tax rate you might be paying depending on how much you earn. For example, if you earn 12,570, then you don't pay any tax. So you're a 0% taxpayer. If you earn 12,571 to 50,270, then you're called a basic taxpayer, or you pay the basic tax rate, and that's paid at 20% for 2022-2023. The same thing is the same thing for 2021 and 2022. If you earn over 50,270, then potentially you're 40% taxpayer. And there are ways in which you can mitigate tax, especially if you're a 40% taxpayer, using things like salary sacrifice, pensions, and so on and so forth. But for now, if we focus on the 20% taxpayer, anything under 50,270, then you pay 20% tax. And that 20% is calculated after your personal allowance of 12,570. So between 12,571 and 50,270, anything above that, anything within that range, you pay 20% tax. So for example, your 50,270, if you deduct your personal allowance, which is 12,570, you pay 20% tax on 37,700. Like I said, things like pension, car scheme, tax relief, student loan, and your age. If you're over 65, then your tax code, your personal allowance might differ. So like I said earlier on, if a basic taxpayer will have L, the letter L at the end of their tax code. So you probably generally have things like 12570L, because the personal allowance is 12,570. And if you've got K, that means that perhaps HMRC is making a deductions from your tax code, or things like company car and so on and so forth have been deducted from your tax code. If you've got basic rate, there's a very big misconception about BR, because a lot of people that have got a second job think that they're paying more tax. But your personal allowance can only be deducted from your first job. So the 12,570 comes out of your first job, and everything else becomes a 20% tax. So you're not actually paying you're not paying too much tax, you're just paying exactly what you need to be paying. And then again, if you're over 65, you might have a tax code that ends with a Y, which is basically saying that your personal allowance might be slightly different from the under 65s. The last thing I want to talk to you about is national insurance, because if you look at your income tax, you will see your tax deductions, and you also see your national insurance. And in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, you've got what they call the employee national insurance and the employer national insurance. For you, what you need to be worried about is this employee national insurance. And for 2022-2023, if you earn under 9,880, then you don't pay any national insurance. That's a yearly threshold. Again, this is going to change in July 2022, and this is increasing to 12,570. And this 12,570 also equates to the personal allowance. So for example, if you earn 12,570, after July 2022, you don't pay any tax. You also don't pay any national insurance. Anything from 9,880 to 50,270, then you pay 13.25% on your national insurance. So if you're a basic taxpayer, you pay 13.25%, and then you pay 20% income tax. If you earn over 50,270, anything above 50,270, there's an addition of 3.25% on anything above that amount. Again, this is the national insurance calculations for England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So there are websites out there that you can use to calculate your take-home pay, and two of the popular ones that I've used in the past is the Money Saving Extract Tax Calculator, and also a website called Listen to the Taxman. I'll leave the link in the description box below. In case you like what I'm talking about on this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So if you're a nurse, what I want you to do is to leave your tax code in the comment section below, and let's have a look at the tax code, and let's try and give you a better understanding of what the tax code is. So generally you would see something like 1257L, And again, like I said, you could potentially be entitled to tax reliefs on that, such as the uniform tax relief, the professional subscription tax relief, and so on and so forth. So leave the tax code in the comment section below.